trucks tonight. Yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Switch it over. Can he save it?
Here we go!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first episode of the Wednesday Night War right here on the Monster Truck Attitude YouTube channel. Our track here tonight, the Texas Monster Truck Championship, built by Nitro Gear 313. Big shout out to him for building this awesome course, because tonight we have got some of the baddest freestyle action coming up for all the great fans tuning in to the Wednesday Night War here tonight. Now let's head on over and check out our field of trucks getting ready to put on some wild freestyle performances here tonight on the Wednesday Night War. Now up first in our line of trucks is the Snakebite Machine returning to action alongside the Tantrum Chevrolet, ready to freestyle for all the great fans out here tonight on the Monster Truck Attitude YouTube channel. Following him, it's the return of Monster Patrol, all the way from St. Cloud, Minnesota, ready for some wild action. And then alongside him, the Bigfoot Speed Energy making his debut out here on the Wednesday Night War. Then the Identity Theft coming to play. We're going to see what they can do out here on the freestyle course. And then last but not least, the defending champion, Maximum Retribution. You see him come out and freestyle with the championship flag on the back of that truck. But up first, at Cobra Creek, Colorado, returning Snakebite all the way from the Bigfoot camp, ready to rock the house all the way from the Bigfoot camp as he gets this run underway. The highest score you can get in this competition is a perfect score of 30. So we're going to see if Snakebite can come anywhere close to taking home a championship win here tonight, and possibly upsetting Maximum Retribution with some big time air out of the Snakebite Machine, coming back over the pod now, getting that thing cranked up. Got to get a lot of momentum going here. It's all judged on the criteria of how freestyle is laid down. Get the nice little bicycle right there up and over the pod, but the momentum plays a big factor. It has many obstacles as you hit. Snakebite really laying down a solid performance so far here in his freestyle run on the Wednesday Night War. Gonna go up and over the pod now, getting a little cattywampus, so to speak, getting ready to line up for some major sky wheelie air right there. Gonna try to set it down, gets into a slight moonwalk, sets it back down before getting into trouble at that pod area as Snakebite lays down a top tier performance and definitely finding a groove here, keeping that momentum running. So Snakebite laying down a clinic here tonight in our first run of freestyle. Gonna line up for the backflip ram, and he's gonna clear it. A beautiful backflip by the Snakebite Ford here. Back now over the pod with some big time air. Snakebite laying down a really good run. So be sure to judge down in the comments for yourself if you think Snakebite's score should be higher or lower on this competition. Gonna whip it into some nice donuts and go one more time over the pod now. Snakebite really having a solid performance out here on the Wednesday Night War. Will it be enough to take away the championship? We're gonna find out here in just a few seconds as the judges get ready to tally up their scores. Heading over to the judges zone, and your score for Snakebite is gonna be 7, 14, 21 for the Snakebite Ford. So a good start to our freestyle here tonight on the Wednesday Night War. But up next is the Tantrum Chevrolet, ready to rock the house for all the great fans here tonight at the Texas Monster Truck Championship. Tantrum now over here at the starting line. He's ready to go. They give him the green light to get freestyle underway, and he's going to come out with a bang over the pod. Gets a little cross up here, going to side slap it. Tantrum now coming out, making a little bit of noise for all the great fans here tonight at the Texas Monster Truck Championship. Big time air back over the pod, and he's got a sky wheelie going on. A ride worth the wait here tonight for the Tantrum Machine. The fans are going nuts. He's laying down an awesome start to get his freestyle momentum going. And Tantrum now saw what Snakebite did earlier tonight, trying to whip it into a little bit of a donut right there as he gets it going. Some cyclones at a Tantrum. Awesome run by him. Gonna go up and over the pod with a perfect leap right there from the Tantrum Chevrolet. Sets it back on, well, where the tailgate would be. He's laying down the law here. No doubt he's got a lot more momentum than the Snakebite did earlier run in freestyle here tonight. Tantrum puts it on the nose a little bit as he lays down the law here tonight. Side slaps the wall. That may be a deduction right there from our officials. Gonna line it up for a perfect backflip. And Tantrum really laying down a great performance here tonight in the Monster Truck Championship Texas Series over here on the MTA YouTube channel. Again, he saw what Snakebite did earlier tonight. Knows he has to try to outdo it, and then some. The rear end, the way that thing just torqued right there on the Tantrum Chevrolet, showing how much control he has over that truck during this freestyle performance. The time is coming to a near. He's got a couple of more hits left in the Tantrum Machine. Tried to set it up for a moonwalk there, didn't quite get it. Back now over the pod, gonna cross it up, almost dumps it on its lid, and he's gonna park it right there on top of the pod. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for the Tandem Chevrolet here in the Freestyle Competition on the Wednesday Night War. Let's go over and see what the judges thought at Judges Zone with a score of 7, 13, and 20. Tandem going to score a little bit lower, and you might have to wonder if the deduction came from side slapping the wall earlier tonight. So 1 point shy from snakebite earlier tonight. But next up on the list, all the way out of Pacific, Missouri, the original monster truck, Bigfoot Speed Energy, getting ready to lay down the law here tonight in our freestyle competition. Going a different way to get his run started. We're going to see what the bright orange Bigfoot Speed Energy can do out here tonight in freestyle. We're going to line it up for a nice little slab billy now, up and over the pod, getting a little crossed up. Sees that he's in the way of the wall right there. Going to get himself squared away and line it back up, back over the pod and over the crush cars. The Speed Energy machine. First time we've seen him out here on the Wednesday Night War with a nice sky wheelie. Slaps it down and rides it all the way across the arena floor. The Bigfoot Speed Energy, in my opinion, seems to need to pick up the momentum just a little bit to see if he can get what Snakebite did earlier tonight. Back over the pod now, another beautiful sky wheelie. He's laying down a good run. Again, it's just the momentum, and he really needs to pick up the pace just a little bit, get that wow factor for these great fans as the run gets about halfway through. Bigfoot Speed Energy, no doubt, laying down a solid performance here tonight. And again, you guys can judge down in the comments below if you think Bigfoot Speed Energy should have been scored higher or lower when the Judges Zone comes up. And Bigfoot now going to whip it into some donuts here on the Monster Truck Texas Championship as he gets the fans all cranked up. Back now over the pod, looking for that big wow factor. Going to side slap it, and over he goes. And he's going to wait a second to see if he can refire. He's got the truck going. I don't even know if they actually shut him off or just made sure he was good to go. Nice sky wheelie back now over the pod, sets it up for a moonwalk, and over he goes. Does the Bigfoot Speed Energy as the clock strikes 0 here tonight on the Wednesday Night War. Let's go back and check out your Wednesday Night War replay here. We're going to take another look at the highlight. Gets crossed up right here, getting a bad bounce right there in that no man's land area. Side slapped it and turns the truck over, and luckily for him, he lands it back on all 4 tires. And then the last shot of the replay right here, we take another look where he tried to set it up for a moonwalk type scenario. He sky wheels across the pod, pogos it on the back 2 tires right there. Tried to set it up just a little too much brake. Over he goes. It balanced out on the frame, and no wheels were touching the ground, so he couldn't even power out of it. Nonetheless, we are heading over to the Judges Zone to see what they thought of his freestyle run. Is it enough to beat Snakebite? First judge with a 7, 14, and a 21. He will tie the Snakebite forward, and I do believe it's due to lack of momentum he had out there on the track. But next up here tonight, all the way from St. Cloud, Minnesota, the Monster Patrol makes its Wednesday Night War debut out here, ready to rock the house for all the great fans at the Monster Truck Texas Championship here on the MTA YouTube channel. Back over the cards to get us started. Monster Patrol coming out with a nice sky wheelie and a hard side slap right there. He knew that didn't feel too good inside of the cockpit of that truck. Doesn't get quite square on the car stack on 2 wheels. Brings it down for yet another save here tonight. Monster Patrol really laying it out in that first pass of this freestyle run. Some big time air. Up and over the pod he goes. There goes the wing. And up on the nose now. Monster Patrol keeping it under control. Has to back up away from the wall. You got to wonder if the judges are going to deduct that from his overall points, having to back up like that. Nonetheless, Monster Patrol just now getting this freestyle cranked up for all the great fans. Going to launch back now over the pod, sets it on the tailgate, and right back down. The Monster Patrol machine getting ready to line up for a nice backflip. Can he moonwalk it up and over as he gets it lined up? Not quite a full moonwalk, but enough to justify a great freestyle so far. Some big time air back now over the pod. Up on the wall now, that may be a deduction for the Monster Patrol. The rear tires got up on top of that wall protection as he's going to turn it over and bring it back down. What a ride for the Monster Patrol. Got crossed up on the pod there, landing on top of the roll cage. Nice little slab wheelie coming at you as he gets crossed up on the pod. He's got a lot of great momentum nonetheless. He's just trying to hit the jumps a little bit more square and make a solid freestyle performance. Another side slap right there. Maybe that truck's having a little bit of suspension problems. We're not quite sure. Gonna hit it with another backflip to close out the freestyle run into a nice moonwalk, and that will wrap up the freestyle from the Monster Patrol machine here tonight on the Wednesday Night War as we head over to the Judges Zone. Your score for Monster Patrol is going to be a 7, 15, and give him a round of 23 for your total score for Monster Patrol. He will take the lead away from the Snakebite machine as We'll see if he can hang on to it as our next performer comes up to freestyle. It's identity theft. You know he's going to be gunning for maximum retribution out here to get that championship flag. There's the green light. Freestyle's underway, up and over the first set of crush cars. And identity theft now looking to lay it down a bad, fast freestyle performance with some huge air. Back now over the pod. Identity theft letting you know and announcing his presence. He is out there on the track. Great throttle rhythm so far. Back now over the pod. Gets a little cattywampus right there over the crush cars. And identity theft really looking to lay down a good run. Going to cross up on the backflip. And he lands it, ladies and gentlemen. What a great start for identity theft out here at the Texas Monster Truck Championship. Going to get into a moonwalk now. We haven't seen one like that all night long. So you got to wonder if that's going to up his freestyle score. Riding a nice little wheelie all the way across the arena floor. Back now over the pod. Identity theft letting his presence be heard out here on the Wednesday Night War. He's looking to take away that championship flag. Back now over the pod with a big sky wheelie once again. And it loses the front clip. What was left of it right there on that landing. Identity theft really laying down a solid performance. Going to wrap it up into here some cyclones. Letting the horsepower sing from those zoomie headers. Back now over the pod. Big time air from identity theft. He's starting to get a little crazy now as he gets crossed up over that last set of pod right there. And he's going to try to end this freestyle run with a bang. He knows he's got a championship flag to chase down. However, he's also going to top out Monster Patrol's freestyle run. Back now over the pod. Sets it up on the back two tires. What an incredible run here by identity theft. Looks like he's trying to line up for a backflip on the opposite end of that backflip ramp. Unable to come up with it, but a wild way to end up the freestyle run for identity theft. We're going to go over here and see what the judges thought. Judge 1 with a 10, Judge 2 with a 10, and Judge 3 with a perfect 30 here tonight to wrap up the Wednesday Night War freestyle performances. But then there was one. And that is your reigning defending champion, Maximum Retribution, holding the checkered flag on the back of that truck. He just saw identity theft whip up a perfect freestyle score. Here he comes now out of the tunnel, up and over the pod with some big time air, coming out with a ball of fire. Maximum Retribution sets it up on two wheels. He knows he's got his hands full to outrun a perfect 30 here tonight. He's going to set it up now, almost got a moonwalk. Decided to throttle out of it right there, getting too close to the wall protection. Maximum Retribution won last time out when we did the Monday Night Nitro performance. That's why he has the championship flag with a big sky wheelie over the pod. That was huge air from Maximum Retribution, ladies and gentlemen. What an incredible leap. Some serious elevation out here on the Wednesday Night War. Gonna lay it down with a couple of donuts right there. He knows he's got his hands full. Gonna side slap it over the pod maybe. Again, he's got his hands full trying to chase down identity theft, who just laid out a perfect freestyle run. And Maximum Retribution stuffs it right into the side of that ramp. Not sure what he was going for right there, but it did not work. However, he's trying to counter it right now. Some big time air back over the pod. He knows he's got his hands full to do what identity theft did. Gonna line it up for a backflip now. Hard hit on the front end. He sticks it on the tailgate and drives it back down, keeping that championship flag intact on the back of that frame. Big time air back up over the pod. Maximum Retribution really laying down a solid performance. It's going to be hard to see what the judges think if he's even close to identity theft. I do believe he is. He's going to send it over the pod, lands it on the roof, and it's going to be cut just a little bit short for Maximum Retribution, your reigning champion here tonight in the Wednesday Night War. Let's go back and check out your highlights here tonight. Again, back over the pod. This was the final leap. It just looks like he was going for some major air, and the truck over rotates, landing on the back end of that chassis, and over he goes. Now it's come down to this. What do the judges feel his run was worth? Was it as much as identity theft? 2 10s and a 9. So identity theft will take the win and the championship flag over Maximum Retribution here tonight, which was way close between those two. But ladies and gentlemen, at this time, your new Wednesday Night War champion, give it up for identity theft with a perfect 30 here tonight, taking out Maximum Retribution and taking the championship flag. Identity theft will be rocking it next time we're back for the Wednesday Night War. Thank you guys so much for coming out and watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave it a like, comment down below, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you down the road.